purpose of this video is to introduce to you the Bazefield monitoring module. We recommend you first view our product introduction video if you haven't done so already. The Bazefield monitoring module is the first module that we'll overview and is the starting point of the analysis of your wind farm or your solar plant. It enables you to view all your data in real time, customize your own dashboards, see what assets are down, and see all your historical alarms which might be affecting the performance of your plant. The monitoring module is the top module here on the left side of the navigation menu. What we typically do in monitoring is start our customers at an asset overview scale. This enables you to look at your entire fleet of sites, whether they're wind, solar, or any type of asset across the entire geographical regions. We'll then put the different geographical regions here in the link dashboard above. So if you wanted to drill down into a certain region, you can just click that link and that will bring you to a new dashboard, in this case wind farms in the US. Here you can see live KPIs of operational state, how many turbines are operating relative to the number of turbines or number of assets on site, and live indicators of wind speed and production for that plant. So this is all live data. As you can see, the screen it's updating as the tags are updating in the data engine itself. These are just some of the different types of platforms that we've worked with for wind, as we've deployed for over 10 gigawatts across the US and Europe. To help you understand how Bazefield works and displays the data so uniformly, basically in our configuration process, which we go through with each customer, we make a landing page or a configuration page for each asset model. This, for example, is a V100 landing page where we put the static data about this turbine, the cut-in wind speed, the cut-out wind speed, the rated power, the site-specific power curve, which helps us enable theoretical energy calculations, and really the bread and butter, which is the alarm list. This is essentially the list of integers or the list of alarms that we expect the V100 or your certain turbine to read into Bazefield. And from there, we know the availability rules for all these alarms, and that helps us in our availability application, which we'll get into later. So let's just go back into our site overview here. From the portfolio view, what you can then do is drill into each one of these wind farms, either by clicking it here on the process screen or by using the navigation menu on the left. So if you wanted to drill down into wind farm 1 here, just click the menu option. Let's look at the standard dashboard for a wind farm. What we have here is on the top left is a site layout. So we collect the latitude and longitude for your site so we know where your assets are at. The operational status, in this case green is meaning that the turbine is running. Then we have real-time indicators of yaw position and wind direction. This will help you tell if there's any offset in the turbine that could be causing a loss of performance in the power curve. And we have some real KPIs in terms of production relative to rated power here on the top left. We have other than example widgets that you can configure yourselves. This is a widget of live wind speed and power here on the right. And then these are widgets of long-term production and availability for this plant over a long series of time. And the one thing you'll notice is that you can, as a user, configure all the types of visualizations you do. In any of these screens, you'll see an edit button here. By clicking the edit button, you essentially see that each of these visualizations become widgets. You can remove these widgets by clicking the X. You can reconfigure them by clicking the middle button here, or you can move them around by clicking the left button here and drag and drop the widget to a different part in the screen. The other thing you can do is add a widget. So if you just click Add here, you essentially have a list of different visualizations that we support. You can do time series charts, you can do XY charts, wind roses, power curves, energy roses. Basically any type of visualization that you can imagine, you can embed into Bazefield and link that with your back-end tags to configure your own dashboards. We also do this at a turbine level. So if I hop back over to the left side of the screen, we'll give you, out of the box, a standard turbine dashboard as well. And again, these are all widgets. So they can be dragged and dropped, they can be deleted by you. You can add your own custom visualizations here. Basically, as part of our user training and our super user training, we help you design your own dashboards because we don't want to make this product a black box. We want to make this the way that you want to visualize your data. We do the exact same thing if you had a solar plant. We'd basically give you a suite of dashboards that are broken between the site and the different inverter station or the different strings, however you want to design it basically. In this case, we're looking at irradiance over a long period of time with an average line of the irradiance here in green. We're looking at plant performance ratio, so you can see if there's any dips in performance of your solar plant, in this case here in the February months, and also looking at plant yield here at the bottom right. You can look at this data in terms of a graphical visualization, or we have different types of tables you can put that data in. So now we're looking at inverter for each row. We're looking at the peak power, the actual power, the yield, the performance ratio of each inverter station. So any type of visualization you could imagine for both wind, solar, or whatever type of asset you have, we have a very generic platform that enables you to configure it yourself. Not only do we deal with just the SCADA data, as you see in these screens, but Bazefield itself, its data engine is completely generic, so we can talk and connect to any type of data. For example, market prices in the US can dictate lost revenue when certain assets are down. So a lot of our ISOs and RTOs will give an automated data feed for one of our certain customers, and with that we can actually bring that data into Bazefield, and when the turbine's down we can not only estimate the lost megawatt hours because of that turbine being down, but also the lost revenue associated with that downtime period. We also have a forecasting platform that we integrate into Bazefield out of the box for you, which allows you to look forward in terms of wind speed and resource and also production of your plants. A lot of the times our customers will actually have their own forecast data, which they'll use in various ways and means within their organization. And we can connect that to Bazefield as well if you don't want to replace that system. Besides that, we can talk to any other type of device on the plant, not just the inverter or the turbine. We can talk to METMAST and bring wind speed, pressure, density, rain measurements into Bazefield as tags. If you have SODAR or LIDAR on site, we have brought that data in through FTP services or other types of means. And also, one cool thing is for substation integration for some of our customers, we've been able to overlay the real-time breaker statuses and switch statuses on top of the electrical diagram of the substation itself, and this is just an example of that. And again, this is all widgets, so you can add and configure different screens, different visualizations into these custom add-ons. So hopping back into our main section here, before we end, we're going to get into really the meat and bones of our monitoring module, and that's our asset operations application. Asset operations basically looks at all the assets you have installed in Bazefield and gives you the real-time status, the real-time operational status of those assets. So in this case, you're looking at all the different turbines that you have installed into Bazefield, and you can drag and drop and choose what you're looking at here. So in this case, we're looking at one specific wind farm, all the assets. We're seeing which turbines are down. We're seeing how long they've been down here on the left. And we're seeing the root cause alarm which caused that turbine to be down. So in this top case, we have turbine 1 that's been stopped for 20 hours. Here's the real-time production, 0 obviously, and the wind speed, 4.6. Pause pressed on keyboard, that's a standard Vestas maintenance alarm. It's not very specific, so you as a site manager might want to add a certain comment to that operational state. To do that, you just hit comments and you can enter text in about this stop, whether it's say an end of warranty maintenance or if it's a gearbox inspection. You can add that and that will show up in the actual visualization itself. This also works not just for wind, but it works for any type of asset. So if you want to toggle to a solar farm and just hit apply here, now you can see the real-time status of all your inverter stations, if they're stopped, if they're running, what the irradiance is, what the active power is. So this again is kind of your home page of what is going on with my plants, how long have my assets been down, which ones are running, which ones are not, etc. From there, really the next step is if a turbine is down, you want to see the alarms. You want to see all the historical alarms coming in. That can be done in our alarm log application here on the left-hand side. Let's click into that. This allows you to choose, drag and drop what you're looking at. So in this case, this is a solar farm. If we go back to our wind farm, demo wind farm here and hit apply, all the alarms then are reloaded for that wind farm. We're looking at about a month period of time here in the top right. You can change that if you wanted to look at just a certain day or the last week or the last 30 days. You just click one of these and hit apply. That will dynamically update the time frame you're looking at and reload that alarm data into place. So while the list can help you understand just kind of the raw alarms that have come in, really what you want to do is look at your statistics. This gives you your top alarms of this certain wind farm in this period, both in graphical format here in the top and in table format here at the bottom. In this case, what we're looking at is the most frequent alarms for wind farm 4 in the past 7 days. We can also toggle into duration. So these are the longest active alarms in terms of time frame that they've been active. You can look at this in a pie chart. You can look at this in a bar chart. And you can also look at this in a waterfall chart. One thing you'll notice about Bazefield is that the graphics are very interactive. So if you click a certain alarm, the KPIs here on the left-hand side will dynamically update based on your selection. You can see that the alarm will also highlight in the table down below. So if you wanted to drill down and see what turbines or what assets are most affected by that alarm, you just click the drill down button here and you have the ranking of the most affected assets by frequency or duration. Similarly, if you wanted to be more asset-centric, you can toggle the alarms button here into assets. Now your pie chart is composed of assets, not alarms. So if you wanted to see the top alarms on, say, asset 21, you just click that. It's highlighted down here. And you can drill down into asset 21, turbine 21, and see what the top alarms are for that turbine. So there's different ways you can slice and dice your data in the alarm log. And this is really the last application that we'll go over in monitoring. It's really the first step into our analysis module, which is the next video that you'll see. Basically, we take all these historical alarms, we map them up with your downtime categories, and we allow you to manage your own availability. And that's the focus of our next video.